Hey all, good morning. It's Saturday morning, what is it, February 20th. And I'm here making a video that I wish I didn't have to make. About, 3 years ago, I started a petition to save the TV show Last Man Standing after it had been canceled inexplicably. Or I should say 2 nights ago, Thursday night, the latest episode aired. And it's making me regret ever attempting to save the TV show. They seem to have decided to take a show that appealed mostly to a conservative audience and take it woke and bash the cops. Oddly enough, the petition that saved the show was started by a cop. So I'm going to read the lines from the show that specifically address what I'm talking about. For those who haven't seen anything about this yet, Chuck was arrested while he was looking at a car for sale in someone's driveway. According to, let me just read this. Okay, it says, the scene opens, shifts to the break room where Baxter, Joe, which is Jay Leno, Ed Elzonte, Hector Elizondo, and they're talking about Chuck's arrest. It says, we were looking at some old lady's car in her driveway. I mean, why would they arrest Chuck for that and not us? Joe says. Because he's black, Ed replies gravely. It just never ends. Ed relates a story about a former employee, blah, 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 don't care about that part. Chuck enters the room and explains what happens. I didn't do anything, Chuck tells his coworkers. The cops got a report of a suspicious person in the area, and I didn't have my ID. So they put me in handcuffs, took me downtown to verify my identity, then let me go. What an absolute load of horse shit. Not that cops don't get that call. Hell, I responded to that very call a bunch of times. I worked a couple of fairly wealthy neighborhoods in my district that I worked for a long time. Ironically, the wealthy districts were predominantly liberal, and the woke generation, or the woke folk, I should say. But they're also the ones who called because there's a black guy in my neighborhood and he doesn't belong here. I would get those calls. I would drive by. Joe Blow citizen walking down the street doing nothing. I wouldn't even bother contacting him. And I'm talking, this is going on 20 years now. So it's not like we've never gotten those calls for service. In the times when you actually contacted the person, you verified their ID, and if they were up to no good, you dealt with that. If there was nothing going on, you let them go. They're doing he was arrested because he didn't have his ID. Bullshit. This is 2021. Cops have computers in their cars. Those computers have access to DMV. They have access to all kinds of other databases as well. So you go, all right, sir, I get it. You don't have your ID. Can I get your name, date of birth, social security number? Do you know your driver's license number? You sit down at your computer, and in less than a minute, you have their driver's license photo on your computer, and you go, yep, that's him. All right, have a nice day. This is such bullshit. This isn't 1970s. This isn't where we take people to jail because we can't ID who they are. This is just more anti-cop bullshit being pushed by the liberal elite who run Hollywood. And I am absolutely blown away that Tim Allen and the rest of the crew at Last Man Standing let this shit fly. It makes me sad that my part in my role of saving that show. So I'm done with it. Disgusted. Hope you guys have a better weekend than I'm having. Bye.